3, 2, 1.
Hey guys, welcome back to another week of FetchQuest. Domikos is joining us as we speak. There he is. We're happy to see you guys again. Hope you guys had a wonderful week. And I believe, Kit, you wanted to catch us up, right?
Yep, let's do this. All right. So while Domikos took a nap, those of us still awake did a little bit more research on the plant we were looking for, and then decided to rest up before the next adventure. However, Vaughn decided to have an intervention regarding the orb, and a small, confused dog pile ensued until Zahn could get the orb away and put it in the bag of holding. Problem solved. Probably. Not really. No problem solved. Domikos has an addiction. We were then visited by an overly enthusiastic, if a bit sketchy journalist who wrote a highly embellished and completely wrong tale of our great endeavor in the undersea. And then we unfortunately had to bring him with us on our search for this plant. Although he is invisible, I don't trust that shit. Finally, we arrive at the ruins, following a trail of slightly dying vines until we reach yet another ooze lake, peppered with little islands and strange-looking lightning rods, which then came to life. And now we have to fight them.
Excellent. And we did roll for initiative, so initiative order is already set. Zahn, it is your turn. These three metal balls have sort of dropped from the large lightning rod in the middle, and they've kind of assembled around the group.
Do they obviously look hostile?
As of right now, they seem to be hovering, but there is starting to be more and more lightning kind of sprouting out of their sides and acting as if, like the way they're striking the ground are similar to the legs, keeping it up.
Sorry. All right. So it does look like they can move, and they're not just stationary there. Then.
That's right.
Okay. I'm going to assume everything in this place is hostile. So I'm going to attack.
Sounds good.
That's right. Not... Well, I have advantage because I'm next to people. 17?
17 hits. Cool. Go ahead, roll damage.
So 16 slashing. I didn't do anything extra because I am all over the place right now. I'm just gonna now take my bonus action.
Cool.
And
real quick, which weapon are you using?
I'm using the Great Axe.
Cool.
Currently.
Just wanted to make sure.
Yes, so it is magical, if that's what you were wondering. Now I'm going to use my bonus action to Branding Smite, because I didn't before, because I am dumb. 18.
Okay, excellent. That also hits.
And then my Branding Smite is going to be an extra 4 damage.
Excellent. All right, so you successfully hack into this thing, lightning kind of curling around your great axe as you do so, but it doesn't... After you hit it, it then floats away. And it almost seems like with your second hit, you batted it away.
Cool.
All right.
And then I'm just going to plant myself right here, yeah.
Cool. All right, Domikos?
All right. Well, let's see how this works. I am going to do a or a. We'll try a scorching ray
Cool. On which one?
at the one next this one here.
Cool.
First ray.
24 will hit.
Crap. False roll. Well, sort of. I didn't have the addition in there.
23 will hit. And that's a crit.
Okay. It's gonna be 8d6. Okay.
God damn. Oof. Do it. Do it.
Yeah, I'll use this. Is it 1 or 2? I can never remember. I think it's 2.
I think it's also 2 sorcery points.
No, it's 1 for empower.
Really?
Yeah. So I'm going to spend a sorcery point. Well, I'll reroll those ones. Nice.
Excellent. Hey, shiny metal. All right, let's go ahead and take a look. Let me take this out. Oh, nice. Okay, so that, God, 34. I hate the way I do math. All right, end of your turn. This one kind of after the flames hit it, it does sort of spin in place, lightning kind of jerkily shooting out and acting to steady it, preventing it from spinning like a top.
Cool. Yeah, that's my turn.
Cool. Joven, you've got 2 next to you.
Okay. I can see that. Okay. Well, since we're in a fight, bonus action to enter a rage,
Sounds good.
and then I am going to. I'm going to pick tail for this
Cool.
because that's special tail grown, and going to try and smack. Actually, which one did Domicos hit?
Domicos hit this one.
And it's spinning like a top right now.
No, it managed to settle itself down after about a rotation.
I'm going to try and just kind of axe tail kick this thing down.
Sweet.
So roll that. It's taking a second to load the roll, I believe.
Wonderful. Roll 20. So you do try to axe kick, but you miss time the way that this orb is spinning, and you do end up kicking just beside it.
Damn. I still got my second attack though, so let's try for round 2.
Cool. So you hit, and that's 14 damage. And after you hit, your tail smacks into it, and it spins off over here.
Okay.
All right, end of your turn?
Yep.
Cool. So these orbs all seem to, the lightning grows in each of them, and this one is going to go ahead and, where is it? It's going to go ahead and the lightning around it's going to gather and then fire out in a straight line. I need both Kara and Zahn to make dexterity saving throws.
Okay. You have +3.
Okay.
I don't have
All right.
advantage, but yes.
Still. So, Kara, you take. Kara, you take 21 damage of lightning, and Zahn, you take 10.
Keep forgetting I have resistance to lightning.
So you both take 10 damage.
Ooh.
All right. And so this one is going to go ahead and When it steps off the edge, the lightning sort of starts to form a sort of ball around it that's allowing it to hover. And it's going to go ahead right here. And it's also going to do the same thing. So I need you guys to make saving throws, please. Oh, nice. So, Kara, you take 6 points of lightning damage, and Zahn, you take 26. And you guys see that this orb that you guys have beaten up a little bit, some of the metal hatches on it, when the lightning hits it, it sort of starts to crumble the metal back up together, kind of buffing out the dents in it. Excellent. And this one is going to go ahead and just make a lightning bolt attack at Zahn. So, an arc of lightning strikes out and misses. So these over here, they're also going to start floating in to join the battle. And this one's also going to make a lightning attack at Zahn. And this one's going to hit. So Zahn, as the lightning strikes into you, you feel a brief pulse of electricity run through your body, and you take 11 points of lightning damage. And so you're going to take, this one's going to go, the other two are also going to strike out at you. That's a miss. Your AC is 20, right?
21.
21? Okay, that's 2 misses. The lightning does strike the ground before you. These seem to be more content milling around over there. And at the end of their turn, nothing happens. Kara, it's your turn.
Yep. Nope. Don't like. Gonna move away from this line. I don't like getting a taste of my own medicine. And I'm gonna try chromatic orb on this one. Hold.
Sure. Do it.
Come on, roll 20. I know I clicked you. I'm not clicking you again.
Come on, roll 20. Work for us.
Fine, fucking click it again. Nope. I'm just gonna roll. Oh, here it is. There we go.
There we go. So your chromatic orb does miss. You're still with a little bit of that electricity arcing through you, causes your arm to jerk, and you fire right next to it.
Nope, I'm going to move even further.
Are you jumping in the ooze?
No, I'm not jumping in the fucking ooze. Not this time.
End your turn?
Yeah.
Top of the round. Zahn, it's your turn. You've been fried a little bit with lightning. Kara's running away.
Has this one next to me taken any damage yet?
That one has not. You guys were kind of focusing on the other two.
Yeah. All right. I'm gonna go over here.
Okay.
Either one of these been damaged yet?
This one has been the one that's most heavily damaged, but due to the lightning damage it took earlier, it seems like it's almost repairing itself.
Okay, well, I'm hitting that one first then.
Cool.
No advantage this time. 17.
You hit it.
And branding smite damage. 20 whole
Nice.
damage.
Nice. God damn.
Attack number 2. 12.
That just hits.
Alright. I'm fine with that. Branding smite.
Another 20. Yeah, so you easily, like, when you cleave into this thing, fire bursts out and it falls to the ground. You guys notice that when it falls, kind of split in half, lightning strikes from the ceiling down to where it was. All right. End of your turn?
Bonus action. I'm in a second wind,
Sounds good.
which is a D10. I believe. Hold on, so I don't
It's
use second
D10
wind that
plus,
often.
D10 plus half your D10 plus your player level, I think.
Yes,
Fighter
D10 plus
level.
my fighter level, which is only 2.
Still.
Cool.
Nice. Decent amount.
Now I'm done.
Excellent. Domikos. Zana's just cleaved one in half.
Okay. I am going to bring up my ice blades.
Nice. Giant swirling saw blades of ice rotate around your head.
Pretty much. And I'm going to do all 3 on the other damaged one.
So this one over here?
Yeah.
Cool.
First blade.
That's gonna hit. Just barely gonna hit. As you throw the ice blade out towards it, the intense heat that the electricity is creating makes it shrink a bit in size. But it does indeed collide with a screech of
Okay.
metal.
Good to know. Second blade.
That's definitely gonna hit.
And third blade.
That's gonna hit.
All right. So I'm going to separate the slashing damage from the cold damage. Because
Sounds good. Thank you.
what I'm guessing. So between all 3, that's 18 slashing.
Love it.
And then I'll leave those ones in there. So 11. Cold.
All right. Sounds good. So your 3 blades do sink into this metal orb, tearing apart 3 lines into it. It's still floating, although the electricity does seem to be flickering a bit more wildly out of it.
Okay. And then those zoom back over to me and orbit
Sweet.
around me. That's my turn.
Righteous. All right. Next up, it's going to be Joven.
Okay. I see that there's one right in front of me.
That's
So
right.
I'm going to go ahead and bat that thing away.
Sure. Yeah, that's definitely going to hit. And when you hit it, it does sort of meander up over here next to Domikos.
And I'm going to actually, because my tail has reach, can I still attack it from where I'm standing?
You technically could. It's within 10 feet.
Yep. I'm just going to lash out and try to hit it again to knock it away from Domikos.
Sure. Go ahead. Yeah, you definitely hit it, and it does indeed float back over here, floating just on the edge of the rock island and over the ooze lake.
Okay.
Anything else you wanted to do?
I'm gonna kind of try to move, not far, just more or less here, kind of like getting ready in case these things move in again. I'm gonna try and attack of opportunity against them.
Cool. All right. So the orbs. Let's see if one of them gets back his thing. No, he does not. Okay. So this orb floats over here, and it's going to go ahead and make a regular lightning attack against you, Joven. And does a 17 beat your AC?
Yes.
Okay, so it's going to hit you, and that's going to be 17 points of lightning damage as electricity courses through your body. For a moment, you feel your heart beat and then goes still again. This one is going to float up right behind it. You see all the lightning courses out of it and shoots forward, and it kind of dips a little bit and then goes back up to its hovering. I need you to make a dexterity saving throw, please.
Okay. Is this a threat that I can see?
Yes, it is. You do get advantage.
Good. Ouch.
All right, so you take 27 points of lightning damage, and the lightning that courses through this orb, you see that the big dents that the tail is made into it kind of pop out to their original shape. And this one is going to go ahead and float over here, and it's also going to do the same. So Zahn and Joven, I need you to make dexterity saving throws.
Okay. Still with advantage?
Yeah.
Oh. Never mind.
So, Joven, you're going to take 18 points of lightning damage, and Zahn, you take 9.
I rode with the I forgot to turn on the toggle advantage. So that's a 23. Thanks to Zahn.
Zahn's thing is, are you within 10 feet of Zahn?
No, he's not. So he doesn't get plus 3.
Never mind. Sorry.
Yeah, no worries.
Then yeah, it's just 20 then.
Well, you had advantage already rolled,
Oh.
right? Wasn't that the
That was the
I'm
first
sorry,
one.
Gotcha.
The
Then,
second one is
yes.
the 11 and 20.
Cool. Confused me for a second. Yeah, then you both take 9 points of lightning damage instead.
Okay.
And this one that has, you see that some of the metal that is, Damocles has torn away with his razor blades of ice is starting to slowly reform and unless knit itself back together and sort of melt back together as the lightning courses through it. And this one is going to go ahead and try to float this way. So you do get an attack of opportunities on. It's just going to float back here and then make a regular attack at you.
Its speed is 0.
Oh, you have...
I have Sentinel.
That's right. Cool. So yeah, it's not going to do that. It's just going to stay where it is. It's still going to throw an attack at you, but it missed. So you're good.
Sure. Let me just roll my branding smite damage. 18
Cool.
points.
Excellent. So, at the end of its turn, so lightning strikes down at where the fallen lightning rod is, and it hits the ooze, and the ooze starts vibrating wildly. And you guys can see little courses of lightning striking out through it. Kara, it's your turn.
If I get right here, is it possible to hit these, like the 3 around this circle with a 30-foot cone? I don't.
You're trying to hit all 3 of them?
Yeah. I don't use cone spells very often, so I'm not sure.
You would, but you'd have to be. Let's see if it's. Yeah, technically you could, because the cone originates from you, not from the point in front of you. So technically you could.
I need the 3 of them to make dex saves.
Great. They're the best at this. That is 3 fails.
Nice. 8d6 fire damage.
Cool.
For each of them. Yeah, I'm using Purifying Flame from the Elemental Spellbook. And this is probably like
Cool.
one
You
of
want to
my
read
only
that?
5th level spells.
You want to read that out for everyone?
Yeah. You release a cone of golden flame that burns away impurities. Each creature in the area must make a dex save. Undead creatures have disadvantage. A creature takes 8d6 fire damage on a failed save or half as much damage on a successful one. For each damage die that rolls a 5 or a 6, one ongoing spell or magical effect in the area is dispelled unless it is of a higher spell level than the spell slot used to cast the spell. The lowest level spells in the area are dispelled first.
Cool. So you do see that no effects seem to be dispelled in the area, but they do indeed take the damage. The flame courses out almost more like a bright light than a flame itself. And although it does set them back a little bit, it doesn't seem like it's really disrupted them as much as it could have.
Don't like that.
All right, end of your turn?
Yep.
Cool. Top of the round, Zon.
I'm gonna swing it.
Sweet. Yeah, that's a hit.
Yeah, that needs to be rerolled. That's a D12 now, right? Yeah. Oops.
Nice.
So instead, that's gonna be 13 slashing. With another branding smite. It's gonna be another 9 points of damage.
Cool.
Oh, I should be rolling advantage because Car's next to me now.
That's right.
It's still gonna be that one I already rolled, and I'm gonna roll a second time.
Sweet.
24.
Excellent. So you cleave this one in half as well, and lightning strikes down the area that it was in.
Cool. Alright. I'm gonna move over here to these two.
All right, excellent.
That's
Anything
it.
else you want to do?
Nope.
Cool. Damikos.
All right. So these 2 over here look damaged. It's just they kind of healed up a little bit.
Actually, this one does not look damaged at all, and this one does look minorly damaged. However, those wounds seem to be almost melting back together.
Cool. I'm gonna focus back on the one that's minorly damaged.
Cool.
There's about to be a lot of rolls happening. So
Let's do it.
as my action, I get to throw 2 beams of Eldritch Blast at it.
Love it.
First beam.
That's going to hit.
Second beam.
Also going to hit.
So that is going to be 13
Nice.
force damage.
Cool. This thing looks more damage than it was before.
Then as a bonus action, I get to chuck the 3 ice blades back at it. First blade,
That's gonna hit. Also
second
gonna hit.
blade, and
And
third
also
blade.
gonna hit. Yeah, all three of those hit.
12 slashing damage.
Excellent.
And 18 cold damage.
Gotcha. So once again, after you hit the Eldritch Blast, that kind of spins it, sort of shoots it off to a spin. You do throw your ice blades at it, and once again, the lightning does seem to catch out at this ice and sort of melt it down into size. They still do make contact and shred into the thing.
Cool.
Fantastic. End of your turn.
Yep.
Sweet. Joven.
Let's see and take advantage of that tail and take a swing at this one.
Excellent. That's going to hit. And as it does hit, it sort of almost lazily drifts over here.
Okay. And I'll focus it. I kind of run up next to Domikos, and I'm going to try and smack it in that direction.
Sure. Yeah, you hit, and you successfully cleave that one in half. Both pieces fall into the water, or I'm sorry, the ooze, and you guys are starting to see more and more of the lightning strike down at the islands, and particularly over here. It really seems to have these things kind of focused over there, but it is starting to strike down more and more. All right, end of your turn.
Where did you say it was striking? I didn't see it.
So it's striking down at these three lightning rods up there. It seems to be holding their attention more than you guys.
Oh, okay. I didn't scroll up.
But it is also striking down around you guys, and particularly at the crystals, which are fine. End of your turn, Joven?
Yes. Yes, it is.
All right, so it's these things' turn. Let's go ahead and see if these guys get back their stuff. Let's all hope they do. Okay, two of them do. So this one is going to go ahead and let me take a look. It's going to go ahead and fire. You see the lightning all kind of retreat into it for a second. It fires off that beam of electricity, sort of floats down towards the ooze and gets back up again. I need Kara and Joven to make dexterity saving throws. And Kara, I do believe you're within 10 feet, so you get the +3. Okay. And Joven, you do get this advantage.
Yep.
Yeah.
I have set it to advantage. That did not do anything.
So, Joven, you take 33 points of lightning damage, and Kara, you take, Jesus Christ. You take 8 points of lightning damage. And this guy gets really happy for no reason at all. The lightning does seem to almost fully cover this creature, and all of the dents are pursed out, all the slashes in it are sealed up. Okay. And this one right here, it didn't get it back, so it's going to go ahead and make a lightning attack against Kara. And a 22 beats your AC, so it's going to go ahead and... Oof. You take another 8 points of lightning damage. And this one's going to try and float over here. Zahn, you do get an attack of opportunity if you'd like.
Of course. A 19.
Yep. It's going to hit.
Hey, you ain't going
So
anywhere. 17
Excellent.
slashing, 8 radiant.
Cool. Yep. And then it's just going to, in return, throw a lightning bolt at you. And it's going to hit. These things are rolling really well. I'm really getting like 15s and stuff. But shit damage. You take 10 points of lightning damage. And this one's just going to try and maneuver over here. Damikos, you get an attack of opportunity if you'd like.
Sure, I'll try with a dagger.
Sure, if you want.
Can I get one, or is it like?
No, it moved within your threat.
I see.
Yeah, we'll go with dagger.
Is this one of the daggers that you were given because of trust?
No. Well, maybe. Because I know one was definitely, but that's different from all
Is
the
it
other
the
daggers.
fancy ass dagger? Because I gave the other one to Jethro.
Yeah. No, I'm not using the fancy dagger at this point. Okay, so let's just, Yay. +2. Nope.
No, so you swing out at it and it just easily evades your blow. The lightning charges up in it and it's going to go ahead and fire off a bolt of lightning. I need both of you guys to make dexterity saving throws.
Okay.
So that is going to be 15 points of damage for Joven and 31 points of damage for Damikos.
I am unconscious.
So you guys see the lightning hit Joven. His muscles all seize and he collapses to the ground. Little arcs of electricity coming out across his body. And cool. End of its turn.
I need to make a concentration check on
That's
a
right.
spell. Yep. Ice Blades is still up.
So, let's see. Cool. I'm going to throw... Hell. Kara, I need you to make a dexterity saving throw twice as 2 bolts of lightning strike down from the ceiling at you. Cool. You pass, but you still take...
Fuck you, this is my element.
You take 31 points of lightning damage.
I'm unconscious.
You have resistance too.
Oh, that's right. So that's 15 points.
I'm
of
not
lightning damage.
unconscious.
Thank you for the reminders on. Yeah,
I
2
thought that
lightning
was
bolts
total.
hit you square, and you almost find yourself dropping to the knees because of how badly your muscles are tensing. But top of the round, it's Zon.
Do the thing.
Let's do it.
I didn't go.
Oh, did you not go?
I did not go.
Oh,
I got
shoot.
hit with
Sorry.
lightning.
Kara, it is your turn then. Sorry about that.
Feeding somebody a potion's an action, right?
Feeding is, let's say, feeding is going to be a bonus action, and so is drinking it.
Okie dokie. I still have one of the greater healing potions, so I'm going to
Sweet.
feed that to Joven.
Excellent. Go ahead and roll the heals.
Fuck, how much is a greater?
Greater healing potion. I need to have this saved on roll 20.
Sorry, 8d4 plus 8.
Thank you.
I accidentally opened a Terraria wiki. That's not what I was looking for. $31.
All right. Yeah. So Jovan, you get 31 hit points back. Your muscles are no longer seizing as badly, and Kara looks worried, but her face also kind of seems to be partially paralyzed a little bit because of all the lightning.
And that was a bonus action.
Excellent.
Action. Chromatic orb, second level. Come on, roll 20. Acid. I forgot I didn't pick one. Don't like that we're clustered together, so I'm gonna go for this one over here.
Cool. Go ahead.
Chromatic orb, second level. Yeah. 14. So 21?
21. All right. Excellent. Kind of ruins his day a little bit.
Fuck you. Stupid fucking orbs.
All right. Anything else you want to do?
Nope.
Okay, excellent. Top of the round, Zon. So you made an attack at that thing and did, yeah, you definitely hit.
Yep. I'll roll. Brand smite. 5 radiant.
Okay, so when you hit it, it does float away over here.
I'm just right up the edge and swing at it again.
Just not letting this thing get away.
Nope.
You hit. And yeah, that's a reroll.
Yep.
Hey,
So
nice.
That's gonna be 11 with a branding smite.
Cool. No need for the branding smite because you slice this thing in half and it falls in. The lightning is starting to strike a little bit more furiously now. You see that it is, however, mainly drawn over to the top island because that is where the most amount of metal is currently. The rest of it is in the ooze.
Cool. Okay, I'm gonna get right there.
Sweet.
And bonus action. What do I have? I have a supreme potion of healing that I'm going to chug.
Do
I have
it.
to remember how much a supreme is. Hold on 1 second.
It's a ridiculous amount. I know that.
12d4 plus 20 or something crazy like that.
10d4 plus 20.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yep. 10.
And yet, still doesn't feel like enough, right? Damn.
Cool. Now I'm done.
Cool. Domikos, it's your turn.
All right. These two over here.
User.
I'm gonna shoot off a fireball.
Love it.
I'm gonna angle it to where it doesn't contact with the ooze as much as possible, if able.
Sounds good to me. Yeah, perfectly able to do that. What's your DC?
17.
Yeah, they both fail.
So those
All right.
ones are 2s because of my feet.
Cool. So that's a 26, actually.
And I'm actually going to... I'm going to spend another sorcery point to re-roll on the screen the 1s and the 2s.
Sounds good. God damn. Okay, that's gonna be a lot. So that's 13 extra points of damage.
Mm-hmm.
So one of these, the one in the front, just collapses
That
into
is
it.
17 points of extra damage.
17 points. Oh shit.
Yes.
Then cool. This one's still barely. Okay, so this one collapses completely into the ooze, and god damn it, come on, roll 20. This one, it's the lightning is sparking out at seemingly frantic intervals. It doesn't really look like it can hold its height for very much longer without sinking into the ooze. Anything else you want to do?
Yeah, let's go for it, because, well, I forget what the rule is if you're concentrating on a spell that's a higher level, that's a regular level, and it just is a bonus action to do something with it. Because normally you can't do 2 leveled spells at once. But
I'm fine with it. If it's just a bonus action, you've already cast it, so you're not really casting it, you're just activating it. Go ahead.
cool. Ice saw blades.
Do it.
Go.
Cool. And go ahead and roll damage with that one.
Okay. That's 5 slashing.
Slice it fully in half. Both halves drop into the water. The lightning is striking down at extremely random places at furious pace now.
Cool. I'll just throw the other 2 at the remaining one nearby.
Cool. Okay. All right. That's 2 hit.
I'll leave that one. So 7 slashing.
Cool. So this one, it is hovering a
And-
little bit. Oh, you still got cold?
Yep.
Cool. Yeah, then this one is also sliced in half. And at this point, the lightning is striking down so much that any attempts at getting over the ooze now has disadvantage because you're trying to avoid the lightning as well. But you guys are in the middle of an area that is starting to get more and more full of lightning. What do you do?
This guy's still down.
1 second. Clear this out. Which guy?
Barbarian.
Oh no, he's up.
He's alive. He's about as alive as he can be, rather.
The next 5 minutes.
I suggest we leave until the lightning stops a little bit, and then we can check it for our plants.
I'm totally fine with that.
All right. Start jumping across then.
Cool. Go ahead and make an athletics check.
Cool.
If you'd like to avoid the lightning, you can take disadvantage on it, or if you'd just like to take lightning strikes.
I'll try to avoid it.
Cool. Yeah, you make it across.
Yeah, I'm good.
I assume, yeah, back there. Sorry. All right, who's next across?
I would.
Okay.
And I'll also definitely try and not get hit by lightning.
Cool. Disadvantage.
Okay.
Yeah, easily you soar across.
Yep.
I'm
There
in
we
no
go.
shape to risk this shit. So I'm gonna grab my dragon and dimension door over.
Cool.
It's
You
my
guys-
element, but I don't want to die.
You guys teleport over, stepping through. Looks like
Just use a 4th level spell to go 15 feet.
Listen, I have a lot of sorcery points. I can get it back. It's fine.
hey, there's
Alright.
also blood magic getting back spell slots.
Yeah,
I have 11 hit points.
There's enough.
Does it have to be athletics?
You want me to come back for you? I can
No,
come back for you.
I'm just asking. Or can it also be acrobatics?
You can make an acrobatics check, yeah. I was saying athletics because these guys are better athletics than they do acrobatics.
Yeah.
So you're gonna take the lightning damage?
No, I'm gonna try and avoid it.
Okay. Disadvantage. So you jump and it is like when you hit, you do kind of stumble back a little bit, but the other 2 guys are there, so they grab you and drag you onto the safe side. So you guys staying. The lightning doesn't seem to be striking where you currently are now, but yeah, the lightning doesn't seem to be striking. It seems to be more attracted to the crystals over here, and yeah, the crystals seem to be glowing a little bit more.
Are there any of the plants we're looking for over by these crystals?
So when you look at them, it doesn't really look like there's really plant life per se. There's moss growing by them, but not really what you guys are looking for.
All right. Then I suggest we hunker down here for a moment away from these crystals and hope that the lightning begins to sort of stop a bit before we continue, if we need to continue.
Did any of the books have a description of what the plant looks like?
Yes, Zahn is actually familiar with the plant.
Okay. What happened to that vine we were following? Or did it just spit us out here?
That's a good question.
What? So the way that it worked, it wasn't really a mine. I mean, in the better description of it, it looks like it was a hole in the dirt.
No,
Oh, no,
there was a
vine.
vine we were following.
Oh yeah, the vine, it did taper out a little ways back, but it looked like it might have been a part of a bigger plant at one point, but got severed.
Poor plant.
I guess we're just
Cool.
hunkering down and seeing what happens.
You guys taking a short rest?
I guess so.
Please.
Sure.
Cool.
We could.
I mean, unless something happens within that hour.
Yeah, not really much happens. The lightning does, after about 45 minutes, really close to the end of this rest, the lightning does seem to taper out. It's not quite 100% safe, but it wouldn't be as hard to traverse the area now.
Was it really safe to begin with?
As safe as it could be in a weird mine that's known for lightning plants.
That's all of my hit die.
Yeah, sure. Not that I need very much of them.
Brag.
Gonna roll.
And I'm full.
It does look like, when you guys look over, it does look like the 3 orbs on the furthest island from you have formed back into their lightning rod pillar and are attracting most of the lightning.
All right. Does the chamber go back like straight east, or does it look like it goes back in a different direction?
So it looks like this path goes off into a different direction, while this path up here looks to be just more islands further
Okay.
down.
Then I suggest we go down to the south here. Check that out. Unless there are any spottings of what we're looking for along these islands. Can I just do a quick perception check to see if I can spot any of it from the lightning?
Yeah, sure. Cool.
Not
So you can't
disadvantage,
really-
but not very good either.
but your eyes are more distracted by the bright purple glow that has filled the cavern from the crystals.
Cool.
And the ooze, which seems to be actively acting as though there is a current with gentle waves going across its surface.
All right. Let us go south then. And I'm gonna jump across once everybody's ready.
Cool. At this point, I'm not going to make you guys do checks. You've done it twice, so you know the best way to jump across the islands. And I assume everybody's following Zon?
Yeah. Sure.
Cool. So as you guys pass through that hallway, anyone who wants to, go ahead and make a nature check. See if we can figure out where. See if we can figure out where the plants are.
Okay.
Cool. So everyone except for Joven, you guys are seeing what looks like plants that almost look like sunflowers, but they have a very small. So the big seed-filled circle, it looks to be almost a small bulb with jagged, greenish yellow leaves that come out of it, and they seem to be leaning towards the cavern or facing towards the cavern full of lightning that you guys just left.
Do we recognize these at all with that nature check?
You do recognize these as either Thunderweave or Thunderweed. You're going to need to make another nature check if you want to distinguish
I was
between
about
the
to
two.
say. I'm the one that knows how to distinguish them, so I should probably do that. 1 second. Oh yeah, don't I get advantage on that? Because you said
You do.
Okay, cool. If
So it does look like, after some investigation, it does look like these are Thunderweed. Extremely toxic, used in some necromantic rituals, but should not be consumed. They're safe to pick up, but you should not consume them.
all right, I'm gonna pick a couple of them just because. So like
Of
3
course.
of them.
Cool.
This isn't what we're looking for, but it's a sign that we might be on the right track. So I'm going to continue down the hallway, and hopefully we'll find something else.
Cool. So you guys continue down. You're seeing a lot more Thunderweed around here until you guys get to a sort of. You guys are noticing as you're leaving this cavern, the purple lines on the walls are slowly fading back to blue in that nice slow color change. And you guys find yourself in sort of a dog-leg chamber. There are big mushrooms that are growing that seem to glow purple in the faint blue light. And at the very far end of the cavern, there's a large, what looks to be metal egg resting up against the wall. And everyone can go and they want, just explore one square at a time, please.
Do we recognize these mushrooms for our plant?
Go ahead. Go ahead and make a nature check.
Yeah. Not an advantage, but 15 would be my roll.
So they're not what you're looking for, but you do know that what it seems like these things are also, their growth is accelerated by the lightning or something magic in this chamber. You don't know exactly what they could be, but the two plants known for growing around lightning are either one has function for bringing back the dead and the other one has function of bringing people to death. So kind of a 50-50 chance with this mushroom.
Okay. Since I don't know what that is, I'm not touching it.
Cool.
I'll continue walking forward.
All right.
Do I?
And so as you step in that path, I need you to make a dexterity saving throw, please.
Sure.
Cool. You step down, and right at the last second, you feel the ground sort of. You more hear the of high-pitched squeal of unoiled metal scraping against itself, and you step back to see a little pressure plate about a few millimeters down.
Alrighty then. Just do a quick look around, make sure there's no more of those.
Sure, make an investigation check.
Keep activating the traps.
So, you find, almost drew that on the GM layer. You find traps, obviously the one you're standing on, here, here, and there's an additional one right here.
Cool. Well, I'm gonna hop over the one I'm standing on to hopefully not set it off. Do I see whatever this is down here?
That looks to be sort of a, it seems to be a broken statue in the middle of that room. You are also close to the huge egg, which is resting up against the wall. It, at first glance, the metal on it is blackened and almost seems to be in overlapping plates. And there do seem to be some small spikes on, like, in between some of these plates.
Alright. I think it's safe for you all to move up. Just watch your step in these spots.
Got it.
Alright.
Also, I don't know what these mushrooms are, so I wouldn't take any of them or touch them.
You know, I was about to ask. I'm gonna try and follow the path that Zon laid out.
Okay.
I think it's so...
I need you to make, as you step in that square, I need you to
Yeah.
make a dexterity saving throw. And
I don't-
because the danger sense is about traps, you do get advantage.
Oh, thank goodness.
Yeah, you step almost. Oh, you just step over it completely. Not even really realizing.
Okay.
What?
You. Never mind.
All right.
Move to there for the moment.
Cool.
I'm gonna pull out Theobrin's journal and see if he has anything on these mushrooms.
Make a. You can make an investigation check with advantage. So Theobrin does have some sketchings of these journals, although they are of these mushrooms, although they are far smaller. It looks like he was trying to make it's a little difficult to tell because his notes are extremely scatterbrained and almost at some points written on top of each other. But it looks like he was either trying to make week-long rations as one food item, natural healing potions, or a poison.
The more I try to decipher this man's spellbook, the more he reminds me of Eric. I'm just gonna say, okay, yeah, don't eat him. And follow after everybody. Come on, Noodle. Don't touch the mushrooms.
Noodle, oh god, my freaking drawer. I hate that. Okay, so Noodle is just gonna easily kind of glide over them and just kind of land on top of one of the smaller mushrooms and just wings folded up, look at each of you silently.
Yeah, that's about right. I don't want to climb on these things.
I guess I'll take a look at the egg at this point.
Sure, go ahead and make an investigation check for me. So it is a egg that's about anywhere between 13 and 15 feet tall. It looks like it's been resting against this wall so long that some of the plant life has grown around it. When you touch it, the metal is cold to the touch. It looks like it might have done something once, but either is far too old or hasn't been activated to do it in a very long time.
All right. Well, that isn't what we're looking for, so I'm going to just continue checking for traps again as I move.
Cool. Go ahead and make another investigation check. Cool. So you don't really find any more traps until you get over here. Then it seems like almost every other step is covered in traps.
All right. Sort of hop and skip over these spots.
Excellent. So, it's a statue that's made out of a black stone. It does go like partially up to about the middle of the side, and then it seems to be broken off up to one shoulder, and then the arm is broken off. You can't really find any dust or any like remnants of the statue around the base of it. It does look like it at one point was life size, but is now, reduced to more of a rubble.
All right. Safe up ahead again if you'd like to move up. There's just more traps to avoid. And then while I'm waiting, is there anything else in this room, or is it just the statue?
Make a quick perception check for me.
Sure.
Cool. So you're kind of taking a quick look around, and what you assumed were pieces of rubble that were piled up against each other. You can see right here. Fucking drawing. 1 second, that's irritating me. You can see right here and right here almost seem to be offering tables where you can place an offering. And it does look like you can tell from just the amount of soot that's gathered inside. The offering placed inside is meant to be burned. And you can see the blue lines that go into this wall kind of stop at the threshold. Still providing enough glow to see, just not really revealing everything that's inside this room. And it almost seems like on another look, they continue in. They just aren't lit.
All right. Can I tell the religious significance of this then?
Go ahead and make a religion check.
Sure.
So something about this whole thing, you feel like you've seen at least the way that this statue is. Some of the lower half is still kind of detailed. It's been weathered down a little bit, but you can still make out metal boots and pants. It seems familiar somehow. You can't quite put your finger on it.
All right. If anyone would like to join me, I'm lost.
Everyone is still dancing dangerously around the traps.
I don't have dark vision. Is this cave like
I gave you dark vision.
Oh yeah, you did.
Yeah.
And also the cave, the blue lines on the walls are reflecting off of the purple mushrooms and giving just enough light to see. Not really like bright light, but sort of dim light.
Okay. I'm going to move on forward then.
Cool. Passing by the huge egg.
Yeah.
I'm also going to move forward, but going this route.
There was a check I wanted to make, but I can't because I wasn't conscious with that when Noodle hatched.
That's right. You were not conscious for a lot of events.
Yeah. So, but I was conscious for this. And does this statue look familiar?
Make a religion check.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
It doesn't really even look like a statue.
Uh,
It seems to be more rubble.
that doesn't look like the Thunderweave.
It's not. I'm just curious as we are here. I might as well make sure it's nothing important.
The
Since
sorcerer
it's-
could kind of ask that you move further into the goddamn room so we can see.
All right. Is that
You mean
So now that everyone's in the room, you guys can. I need 2 nature checks to see if we can find the Thunderweed and Thunderweave in this room.
Sure. Would I still get advantage?
You on your perception check did actually see the yeah, so both you and Domikos do notice that there is the herb in the room, and yes, you do get advantage on the check.
Cool.
and does this statue look familiar to me?
Go ahead and make a religion check. And this
Nice.
is Thunderweave. You can tell because of the base of the stem is more yellow than it is green.
Well, I'm going to take, like, as many as I can.
Cool. You've got about 8 individual Thunderweave herbs. And Domikos, you remember reading about this. It's been a long time. But for a while you took up religion, and you could have sworn that if this figure had the way that his armor looks, it looks very similar to a god that you would recognize because your father only kept very specific books. Old god known as the Weeping Martyr.
Hmm.
And you know that both this god accepted more natural sacrifices than perhaps say like modified food or money, anything like that.
Well, that's a visage that I haven't seen in a while.
Anything important?
I believe it was a god known as the Weeping Martyr.
And hearing that, Zahn, go ahead and make another religion check.
I was about to say if I recognize the name.
All of us Morath people.
It shouldn't
So
be an
you-
advantage, but yeah.
So you do recognize the name. It is another name, one that's not really widely used because it's more of one of the darker connotations of the god that you follow.
Ah, right. Interesting. I was not aware that he had been around for this long. And that name is a bit old and not used any longer.
Well,
It's more known as Curious now than anything. But this is interesting. There are these offering bowls here, and this room is not lit up, and I am curious if anything will happen. So,
Well, from what I know about him is that likes more natural offerings.
God, I am aware. Now that I actually know who he is. Go right there. I'm gonna put a thunderweed and a thunderweave in both of these bowls.
Excellent. So you do place one in each. And I assume you're lighting them?
Yeah, I guess I will, if nothing happens just from placing them.
Cool. So you light them, and at first, the thunderweed, they both start out with the normal red flame. The thunderweed flame starts to turn into a green color, and the thunderweed starts to turn yellow. And then they both glow blue, and you see the blue lines start to creep into this room and show the story of a man in armor facing a mirror, chains coming out of the mirror and pulling the man and pinning him against the mirror. And then it gets kind of vague. You're not quite sure whether the chains have pulled him up against it like he's blocking it, or whether the chains have pulled him into the mirror. But you do know that the mirror is pulling into him. Then you see the blue lines start to show the carving of a door in the back, and the stone starts to creak, and the door opens a crack. And on the front of the door is the sigil of Velirine.
Would you like to check that sword for me, please?
I was just thinking the same thing. I'm gonna pull the sword box, get the sword piece out.
You can feel the sword clattering.
Oh shit, well, we're closer than we thought.
Well,
Is this?
then, two birds with one stone, then, I guess. Is our friend still around?
I need everyone to make a perception check.
All right.
I'm going to use my previous knowledge to look at Noodle.
You get a perception check with advantage.
Okay.
I found him anyways.
So, all right, all I need is the. All right. So, everyone except for Kara does. Well, Domicus, you look over, and Noodle is looking at this spot. Everyone else, you're kind of noticing footprints leading up to that spot, and there seems to be the dust is a little bit lower in this area, almost as if someone's sitting in it.
I'm almost sort of surprised you're still alive after the lightning room, but I guess you're coming with.
There's no comment.
I didn't expect that. I'm gonna head through that door.
All right.
Cool. So you walk over to the door, put your hand on it, and pull it open. And about 10 feet into this room is a about 12-foot tall mirror that is completely black. And it looks like there is a skeleton that has been chained to the front of it. And this skeleton has armor that looks very, very similar to Yovin's and is chained to very tightly up against it. However, this figure looks to be about maybe 5.5 feet tall.
Can I tell anything about this skeleton?
Go ahead and make a either investigation. Yeah, go ahead and make an investigation check for me.
Sure. Nope.
So he's an old fucking skeleton, and he's chained to a mirror.
Yeah. Is there anything else in this room?
No, this room looks like it was made purely to hold the mirror.
What is the sword telling you now?
Is it still like rattling like crazy?
The sword is rattling. It's not really pulling in any specific direction. It just seems to be smacking up against the box at this point.
I'm gonna like look up and like do a turn, see if there's anything else in this room.
In this room outside, just the blue flames, the blue writing in the wall, and the broken statue.
I don't want to go in, but I know we have to.
You don't have to do anything.
I thought I was already in there, so I'm already in there.
Yeah, you're already in there.
I guess I'll follow Zahn in.
Cool. So you guys both step in, kind of taking up the space of this area, staring at the skeleton, whose armor is hanging very loosely off his body, and this oppressive black mirror. You can't tell whether this mirror is made out of really shiny metal, glass, or like a reflective stone. It's just dark.
Zahn, you want to toss a dagger at it? See what happens?
I mean, it's up to you. I was going to just start trying to pull the chains away, because I'm not entirely sure of the significance, but being outside of Curious's statue, I would assume it's not something bad.
Does the mirror look at all like material-ish wise similar to the orb that Damokos used to carry?
It looks exactly like the orb that Dominic. As a man who spent many hours staring into this orb and holding it, this mirror looks like it's made out of exactly the same material.
Hey, San, this might be of importance to you. It seems very similar in material to the orb.
Right.
Which I'm very familiar with.
Can you tell
That
if
me-
the sword is just reacting to this then, or if it's actually pointing towards this?
Yeah, this is gonna sound stupid as fuck, but can I insight check the sword?
Insight check the sword.
What is it telling us? Speak.
All right, last page. So, as far as you can tell, the sword is just vibrating. It's not really pulling in any one direction. You're not entirely sure that it is just reacting, but you kind of feel like at the same time, when you're not near this, it seems to be pulling in a specific direction rather than just vibrating against the box.
I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say this isn't what we're looking for, because this does not look like the original caves that I got this from in this place. It's giving me the heebie-jeebies.
I'm gonna try something. I'm behind Zahn, right?
You're behind Zahn and Kara, yes.
I'm going to reach into my pack.
Almost immediately, your fingers touch a very, very familiar, what feels almost frozen object sitting in your bag.
I'm going to pull out the familiar object and I'm going to look through it to the mirror. See if anything happens or if I see anything different.
Are you casting scry into this mirror?
such a loaded question.
I feel like it's a simple question, a yes or a no.
I'm gonna say not yet. I'm just saying if, because they're similar materials, if there's anything, like if just looking through the orb at it is gonna do anything, like a magnifying glass would, for
So the
example.
orb itself is so dark you really can't look through it. So when you hold up the orb, you can tell now very clearly, and everyone in this area can tell the orb and the mirror are made out of the same materials. Also, nothing's being reflected in the mirror. It's just dark. In case that wasn't clear.
Looked over at the two of them that made the religion checks. What is this god known as a martyr?
It's hard to exactly say. There isn't much text on that.
From
More or
the text.
less. Ooh, go ahead.
No, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was going to say, more or less, it's more the virtue of being a martyr than anything, than, as far as I had learned, than him being an actual martyr. But it's possible that he was.
I don't know many gods leave skeletons behind.
I don't believe this is curious, if that's what you're asking.
How far is it from the door to the mirror?
It's about 10 feet.
Alright. I still have mage hand. I'm gonna see if I can. Is it wearing the same kind of like bracers, gauntlets?
It is not.
No?
No, it is not wearing the same. Although it is wearing gauntlets, they are not the same specialized gauntlets that Jovan seems to be wearing.
Turn around, Jovan. Let me see your arms real quick.
All right. I'll hold out one of the bracers I have.
I'm gonna turn him over. Is there any writing on him?
Not that you can see.
But this is very similar to whatever's like chained up against the mirror.
Oh yeah, like the whole armor plate seems almost exactly the same.
I don't like this.
Seems like it was a knight of Velirine that got caught. Not sure by what or why.
I mean, chains, obviously, but also.
Does anyone want to throw me another investigation check?
Sure.
Because I've already made one.
Sure.
I don't mind.
I only need one.
Someone else.
So, old skeleton chained to the.
It's clearly a skeleton.
I'll walk up to the skeleton and I'll try and look at any identifying details that might be from the armor or anything they might be carrying.
Sure. Yeah. Go ahead and make an investigation check.
Okay.
So, it on second glance, when you're closer up, it does look like the armor is heavier. It's plate armor. This skeleton seems to be only held up by the chains that are wrapped around its arms, legs, and midsection. However, the chains don't look like they are that tight. And this skeleton is just, it's kind of slumped forwards a little bit. Just jaw open, halfway to the side, staring down at the ground. And on the back of the plate mail, it does look like there is a jagged hole.
Yeah. Something bore on in there.
You have a question, Morgan.
Yes, sir.
Other than just being extremely cold, is the orb reacting in any other way?
It seems to be more waiting than anything
Odd.
else.
From the sort of visionish thing that we saw before the door actually opened, did it look like the person that got pulled in was doing it purposefully, or was sort of against his will?
So go ahead. You step back out to take a look at the pictures. Go ahead and make an insight check for me.
Sure.
Marcos is sitting there holding the
I'll deal with that later.
So, it, from what you can tell, and now that you're actually paying a little bit more attention, it looks like there are carvings that aren't quite glowing of other people in the room. It's just this person, the carving of him is glowing. Then that leads to a carving of him standing in front of the mirror and the chains wrapping out around him and pulling him in. As far as you can tell, it doesn't really, the chains wrapping around him part doesn't look voluntary, but it doesn't look like he was being forced down here.
Alright.
Son, have an idea.
What?
We're curious about what's in the mirror or beyond it. There is one way that we could try to see in there. It would take me 10 minutes to cast. I don't know what would happen though.
I'm more inclined to reject that way of doing it, because you seem to have found a trinket that you should not have.
I was just as surprised as you when I felt it in my pack. Trust me.
All the
It's
more
given-
reason not to trust it once more. However, I'm more inclined, now that I'm looking at these pictures more thoroughly, to believe that we should probably not touch this at all.
And it technically wouldn't be touching, but
Well, interacting with this at all. I believe this was some sort of ritualistic sacrifice, not in the sense of summoning something, but to keep something out. And removing this body will possibly unleash whatever is inside of it.
well, I mean, we've already unleashed something that will destroy the world potentially, according to prophecy. So
At this moment, Noodle beeps from the other room.
You leave my baby alone.
I've
just saying
already
what the
washed my
prophecy said.
hands of that problem.
He is good and sweet.
Can I?
But this one hasn't arrived yet, so I'd rather not unleash something else.
What were you saying, Yovan?
Since I'm this close to the corpse, can I, like, being near this giant oppressive void, can I see or hear anything through it, like from behind where this hole is?
I need you to make a perception check. So you're listening, and I need you to make. So you're listening to it, and you kind of got like. You're here. You're kind of leaning almost past the skeleton a little bit, and you can almost hear like wind, like a light breeze coming from through the mirror.
a light breeze. Just while they're talking, and just like I hear wind.
You hear wind?
Wind.
Well, that would make sense if this is a doorway to somewhere.
I don't feel wind though. I just hear it, right?
Yeah, are you touching the mirror?
I'd rather not.
If you're not touching the mirror, so you're just kind of standing there. You can almost hear the wind on the other side. When you move your head away, you're not hearing any wind. There's no wind in this chamber. When you lean your head close, you can hear the wind coming from the other side, but you can't feel it on your body. Is this fucking door open? No.
And how big is the wound on the back of this guy's like armor and stuff?
Make an investigation check for me. It's a pretty
Damn.
big wound. Can't figure out exactly what could have caused it, but whatever it did, fucked this guy up.
I would like to approach and investigate the wound.
Cool.
Would that be medicine or investigation? Never mind, they're the same.
Cool. So you can tell that this is not in fact one wound. This is multiple. It looks like something has stabbed into the back of whoever this is a multitude of times. And in fact, at some points, you're noticing other wounds on this skeleton, like some more bits of armor are chopped into. It honestly looks more like something was trying to get this out of the way than actually trying to kill the person in front.
How old do these wounds look?
Old. You can't quite tell exactly how old, but they are old. These wounds happened when this skeleton was most likely still alive.
Okay.
So around the time of Velirine, if not a little bit afterwards.
Quickly running back outside, looking at the pictures again. Are they dressed similarly to the person that got chained up, or are they completely different?
So the person that's glowing is seems to be almost carved in the same style as the feathered knight from way long ago. But the other people, there seems to be very little detail done to them, almost as if they weren't really important. They were just there to show like witnesses or something. In fact, if you didn't know better, you could say they weren't really meant to represent people, like humans and all that.
Would you like to check your journal you have quickly, Kara? Just in case we're missing something here.
For what specifically?
Just any type of rituals or anything that mentions the weeping Martyr or anything of that sort. A mirror of some kind. Just in case the Oberyn has been here and knows what happens more than we did.
He's been here. The mushrooms are a side project.
Of course, but
But,
unless you've seen anything about this, then it's possible he doesn't even know this is here.
I will consult the journals.
Sure, go ahead and make a investigation check.
Why?
So you're not really finding anything about the qualifications that he is. You do find a recipe for leech tongue pie.
Ew. Leeches have tongues?
No. You're not quite sure what he means by a leech, but you are very aware that leeches do not have tongues. At least the leeches that you're familiar with.
Oh, dude, it's like fucking slugs.
It sounds like you found something that is completely irrelevant to what we're working on. I'm inclined to believe that we should just leave this here. Not knowing what is beyond it or why this sacrifice happened is inclining me to believe that we should not touch it unless we want to end up the same way.
I, the player, want to touch it so bad.
Well,
You
your
can touch it.
curiosity is rejected.
That's the thing. If I scry, it's not necessarily touching it.
Yes, but you're basically allowing your orb friend there to contact whatever is on the other side. And possibly your own consciousness. If I understand it correctly.
Maybe he's the portal.
The what?
I'm
What?
going to try and like reach up for the breastplate.
No!
Tear it off.
God.
So
Oh boy.
you touch the breastplate of this skeleton, and the chains almost seem to droop a little bit, and you pull, and the skeletal figure comes forward a little bit more, but is still held by his wrists against the mirror. But he is leaning more out towards you.
No further, please. What did I just say about not touching this thing?
I mean, the worst isn't happening, which I thought this thing would come to life here. Just like holding it in place.
Just stop touching it. There's no... Stop!
Does it have the symbol of Velirine on it?
On
On chest
Now
plate,
that it's
or-
leaning more towards the room, you guys can see the blue glow reflecting off of the Velirine sigil in the chest piece. However, now that it's like when one of you shuffles in the way of the glow, it seems to be retaining that glow on its own.
Oh, fancy. Huh.
More reason that I am inclined to believe that this is holding back something, and you should remove your hand from it immediately before I cut it off.
All right. Let go.
So he lets go, and the skeleton kind of shuffles a little bit down, and the neck vertebrae, having been almost to dust for a long time, break, and the head hits the ground, and you guys hear the bone.
Alright, it's at this point that I would like us all to leave now before we disturb anything else in this room, which may or may not want to kill us if it's let free.
Kind of want to Arcana check the breastplate, but I don't know why.
If you can do so without touching it, I will not care.
Chan.
Okay. What are you trying to do?
I'm still considering Mage Hand touching it, so I would prefer you not touch it.
Not my hands on. Don't worry about it.
If you're moving it, you're touching it.
I mean, there's a big space now, right above the breastplate.
Yeah.
Have you never heard look cannot touch?
I'll make my
Alright.
way just back a bit.
Does it look like it's enchanted? Can I check if? Can I
It
Arcana?
definitely you can Arcana check, but it definitely gives off the appearance of being enchanted. It is holding glow. But yeah, I mean, it is holding its own glow. I mean, Yovin's shit seems pretty enchanted, so stands to reason that like one of these guys with similar armor builds would at least be very minorly enchanted.
Alright. Now is when I put my foot down. There is no more information here. We should probably leave. I'm thinking about it more and more reason for me to believe that we should not be touching this thing. There are traps literally laid here to keep us from finding this. Most likely, in either a protective sense, to keep whatever is there from being disturbed.
There's also that giant metal egg outside.
I have no idea what that is.
Is that
But-
a similar material to the mirror, or no?
No, the egg is not. Although it's made out of darkened iron, you can tell that it's iron.
But there were traps specifically to this small area where literally there is nothing but a statue. There's no value here other than what looks to be portal that they most likely were trying to keep shut.
Could also be that they were trying to.
Keep people from going in, I realize that. But without any knowledge of where it leads or what's inside, we should not be opening random objects like we did with an egg. That who knows what that's going to do.
Once again, another meep from Niddle.
And yet,
We
without
have-
much knowledge, we all ventured up north to a keep of unknown individuals just to try and rescue someone from your house.
She isn't part of my house. She's her own person, and I gave her free choice.
Which James then took away.
It's not of my doing, and I rectified it. To the best of my ability. I don't know why you're fighting me on this.
You seem to be contradicting yourself, though.
In what way? I'm trying not to cause a disaster of unknowns.
We could
This
have been
isn't
in a
anything we're
disaster
looking for.
of unknowns just from coming up north here.
We were going to have to come up north either way. We have a mission
But
from a
not
deity.
specifically to the fallen keep.
It's along the way. We are trying to help. Do you not care about this person? If not, then why did you come along? I'm not holding you against your will. Your silence is deafening. Let's leave.
Zahn turns to leave. What's everyone doing? Seems to be two different ideas of what's going on here. Either leave the mirror, well, three. Leave the mirror alone, mess with the guy, or mess with the mirror.
I am
Good.
pleading once more and a final time to your rationality. There is no reason to touch any of this. This is not why we're here. We have no knowledge of whether it will be good or bad. So, consciousness dictates that we should probably not touch this thing until we have enough knowledge to understand what it does.
We are going back to a library.
Exactly! This one, you're getting smarter by the day, and I appreciate it.
We don't have the best access to that library, though, also.
But we will once we return the Thunderweave. That is our
No
final
guarantee of
task.
that.
That is our final task, where we have the entire library to ourselves. We'll be able to ask your crazy shapeshifter friend of any knowledge he has of these areas.
What?
Our friend, fucking... The man who is studying Velirine, who looks like Eric from time to time.
Oh, I forgot about him for a little bit.
Omit that part if you would. I say looking at empty space. Not sure if it is JJJ or not.
We'd like to be off the record, JJJ.
Look
Yes.
him in the mirror.
Please strike all of that conversation from the record.
Actually, where is he? Is he still sitting?
So when you guys look over at the spot where JJJ was, there's no, you can like see a butt print in the ground, but it doesn't look like someone's currently there. And Noodle isn't really focusing on any one thing.
All right. I pled my case. Unless you all have some incredible decision to make about this, I believe we should just leave while we have what we have.
So, as I said, I had stepped back a little bit. Can I turn around and make a perception check for our reporter friend
Yeah,
near the mirror?
sure.
I don't know if he's actually there, but
Nope. Nah, statues up against the mirror, no reporter guy there, skull on the ground, everything's fine.
Moving out.
I'm gonna step, and as I step, kind of just make a little kind of scuff with my foot on each of these parts,
Okay,
just for future reference.
gotcha.
Leave the room.
You're leaving the room?
I'm not happy about it, but I'll leave the room.
Kara stomps out of the room.
We can always return if you are that curious about this thing.
As far as I'm aware, Domikos is still sitting, looking into the room and holding the orb.
The moment I am.
I'm good. Just look this on. Just be like, this place could have answers. For...
You think the place that is similar to the orb that has controlled the person within your own party has answers to our questions that aren't going to be lies or deception.
I mean, what you describe is not dissimilar to our current employee here.
But he hasn't taken over our minds.
Perhaps. But perhaps there are others similar to him who might have more perspective on things.
And that'd be great, but let's find out more information before we just touch things. Undo possible wards that are blocking things from escaping the prisons.
All I'm saying, Zon, is that sometimes the right decision requires just a little bit of a push.
Reckless abandonment is the right decision all the time? No!
Can we close the door? Is there a way to do that for now?
I mean, you can definitely just push the door closed.
Oh. Didn't even think about that. It was like the fake lock in the house. I'm just gonna just
The door
gently
doesn't
push
shut.
it.
I'm just kidding. The door
Fuck you!
easily glides. When it clicks into place, the blue lights retract out of the room.
We just got to bring more plants next time.
I mean, I took plenty. We should be able to make offerings again.
There's no telling how much of that shit they're gonna take, though.
I just won't give them all of it.
You're lying to the vampires now.
There was plenty more thunderweed as well. I could just use some of that. Or something else. Maybe these mushrooms are used as things. But let us leave before we sit here talking in circles for another 2 hours. And I'm marching out.
Cool. Zana is leaving. Everyone following?
Yes.
Damakos gets up and follows. Everyone else? Cool. I'm assuming you guys are following. So you guys do make your way back out of the cave. Are you guys headed? You guys are headed back towards the Fallen Keep, correct?
Correct.
Excellent. When you guys do get out of the cave, you find a little triangle folded note on a table right outside of the entrance. And it was definitely just placed there. You guys did not see any sort of note when you went down there.
And this is... Where is this?
Right when you guys leave the cave that's leading down in that ruined watchtower.
Oh, okay. I'll pick it up and read.
So it's a note from JJJ. And he says,
How did
thanks
you
for the
get in front of
story.
us?
Fucking invisible! You mean?
He's really just thanking you guys for the story, and he'll have a new edition with some pictures out. By
Pictures?
tomorrow morning.
Pictures!
Oh, God.
Zan, depending on the pictures, permission to light him on fire
I
in advance.
consciously, I cannot tell you to burn him, but I have no control over what you do, and I will not tell you otherwise.
I could make it necrotic, it's fine. Won't
That
be-
makes it no better, but sure.
Cool. So you guys do head back to the Fallen Keep, worried about what JJJ will bring, and that is where we're going to go ahead and end our session today. Next time we'll be picking up at the Fallen Keep. Thank you guys so much for joining us. If you're new, go ahead and follow our Twitter, follow us on YouTube, subscribe to our Twitch channel. Anything else anyone wants to promote?
Wear your fucking masks.
Boom.
Wear your goddamn masks.
I got Corona. It wasn't fun because a jackass wasn't wearing a mask, and it sucked. But yeah, wear a fucking mask. See you guys next week.